Welcome to History for Sleep, a gentle, unhurried journey through time. Tonight, we step softly into ancient Rome, a city where history lingers like a quiet breath. Imagine yourself on the Aventine Hill, if you can picture it, as dawn breaks slowly. The sky glows with soft hues of rose and amber, casting a delicate light over the rooftops below. Let this moment settle over you, calm and soothing, as you begin to drift. The Tiber River winds through the city, its waters shimmering like molten silver. The air is cool, scented with damp earth and the faint aroma of olive oil from nearby workshops. A cartwheel creaks over cobblestones, its rhythm slow and hypnotic. A vendor's voice calls out, low and melodic, offering fresh figs or barley loaves. Pause for a moment and let these sounds wrap around you gently. Rome is a city of grandeur, its Colosseum towering in the distance, like a silent giant. The Forum hums with the soft tread of sandals and the faint scent of incense offered to the gods. Aqueducts stretch across the hills, their arches carrying water to fountains and baths. This is a place of emperors' laws and marble splendor, where history was carved in stone. Yet, beneath this majesty, another Rome waits, quiet and ordinary lives pulse in the city's shadows, far from the marble palaces of the elite. Thousands of Romans fetched water, waited for bread, and lived in crowded, fragile homes. Their days were shaped by small repetitive tasks, unheralded but essential. These people, in their quiet endurance, kept Rome's heart beating. In this moment, let us explore their world, step by gentle step. Our journey, as you might imagine, unfolds in 4 chapters, each a window into Rome's soul. First, we linger in the daily routines of ordinary Romans, from public latrines to cramped apartments. Then, we follow Gaius Gracchus, a reformer whose dreams met a tragic end. Next, the Mithraic Mysteries, a secretive faith binding soldiers in loyalty. Finally, a senator's life, navigating power and protocol in a world of togas and schemes. Picture the city waking, if you will, as shutters creak open in the dawn's light. The scent of fresh bread drifts from ovens, warm and yeasty, filling the air. Narrow streets buzz with early risers, their sandals soft against the uneven stones. This is not a tale of battles or heroes, but of quiet, steadfast, and let your thoughts drift gently as we begin this journey. Most Romans lived in insulae, towering blocks of brick, timber, and plaster. These buildings rose 5 or 6 stories, swaying slightly in the morning breeze. Families shared small rooms, their lives interwoven by necessity and proximity. The air inside was smoky, heavy with the scent of wood fires. Imagine this fragile, vibrant world, alive with the hum of daily life. A typical room, as you might picture it, held a straw mattress pressed against a wall. A clay lamp flickered, casting weak, trembling shadows across the stone. There was no running water, no private latrine, just a clay pot tucked beneath a bench. Neighbors' sounds, snores, laughter, a child's soft cry drifted through the thin walls. Pause and let this image linger, a snapshot of resilience. The insulae were homes of necessity, not comfort or luxury. Fires, sparked by an overturned lamp, could consume a building in moments. Collapses were not uncommon, especially after heavy rains weakened the foundations. Yet, life persisted in these cramped, noisy spaces, day after day. Picture a weaver's loom thumping late into the night, its rhythm steady and low. A mother might sing to her child, her voice soft, barely rising above the city's hum. The walls carried every sound, blending lives into a shared tapestry. These were homes of endurance, where small moments became extraordinary through persistence. The city's pulse beat in these quiet spaces. Let that rhythm settle over you, warm and familiar. Markets woke with the city, their stalls overflowing with baskets of olives and wheels of cheese. Vendors called out, their voices a steady, almost hypnotic hum, rising and falling. The air was rich with the scent of herbs, roasted meat, and the faint temps of spilled wine. For many Romans, this was a lifeline, a place to barter for the day's needs. Picture the quiet bustle, alive yet unheard. Romans gathered here, sharing news as they browsed the stalls. A decree from the Senate might spark murmurs, or a rumor of a distant war. The scent of fresh bread promised sustenance, even for the poorest. Markets were more than trade. They were community. Imagine standing among them, feeling the city's gentle pulse. Life in Rome was a delicate balance of grandeur and struggle. The aqueducts fed the city's fountains, but not the insule's upper floors. Water was carried by hand, bread earned through patient waiting in long lines. These tasks, simple yet relentless, defined the lives of the ordinary. Let this thought drift through you, soft and unheard. Insulae housed dozens of families, their lives a shared, intricate weave. A craftsman worked by lamplight, his tools clinking softly in the quiet. A family shared a meal of bread and lentils, their voices low and warm. The city's noise faded, but never fully, a constant undercurrent. Picture this world, close-knit and resilient. The streets carried Rome's heartbeat, hooves clattering on worn stone. Tunics rustled in the morning breeze, soft and fleeting like a sigh. The Tiber flowed steadily, its waters a soothing presence through the city. This was the Rome of the everyday, far from the glory of empire. Let these details wrap around you like a warm, soft blanket. Markets were a daily ritual, a place of connection and survival. Neighbors exchanged stories of merchants, good fortune, a landlord's greet. The scent of bread was a promise, a small comfort in a hard world. For the poor, this was where hope lived quietly. Picture yourself there, listening to the hum. The insulae were not just buildings, they were communities. A child's laughter echoed through the stairwells, bright and fleeting. A woman kneaded dough, her hands dusted with flour, her movements steady. These moments, small and ordinary, were the heart of Rome. Let them settle over you now. As we linger in this world, hear the distant sounds of the city. A cart rattles over stone, a child laughs, a vendor calls out. This is the Rome of small, enduring moments, far from marble grandeur. We now move to the public latrines, where Romans gathered in necessity. Rest in this gentle transition, calm and Step away from Rome's bustling streets and pause for a moment, if you will. We now enter the public latrine, a humble yet vital corner of ancient life. Imagine a narrow street near a busy market, its cobblestones worn smooth by countless feet. A low building stands, its stone walls weathered by rain and time. This is where necessity brought Romans together, bound by the rhythm of daily survival. Inside, the light is dim, filtering through small, high windows set in the walls. A long bench of smooth stone lines the room, carved with evenly spaced holes. No partitions separate those seated side by side, their shoulders brushing gently. The air is heavy, thick with the earthy scent of waste, tempered by the sharp bite of vinegar. Let this scene settle softly in your mind. Beneath the bench, a channel of water flows steadily, a marvel of Roman engineering. The trickle is soft, echoing against the stone, almost soothing in its steady rhythm. Sewers carry waste to the Tiber or beyond, a quiet triumph of the city's ingenuity. Yet blockages are common, and odors linger when the system falters. Picture this quiet, imperfect flow, constant yet fragile. Methane gas, born of decay in the sewers, sometimes gathers below, On rare occasions, it sparks brief bursts of flame, startling those seated above. These moments pass quickly, accepted with the calm stoicism of Roman life. The latrine was a place of endurance, shared by all who entered. Pause and let that thought drift through you gently. You hold a tersorium in your hand, a sponge fixed to a wooden stick. It's damp, its texture rough against your skin, rinsed in water or vinegar nearby. Pass it to your neighbor, a quiet, shared act of practicality. Germs linger unseen, a silent risk in this crowded world. Imagine the weight of that simple tool, heavy with necessity. The latrine, as you might imagine, is more than a place of nidits, a social hub. Voices murmur around you, blending with the water's gentle flow. A merchant grumbles about the rising cost of olive oil, his tone low and measured. A laborer shares gossip a senator's misstep, a market brawler's laughter soft but bright. In this moment, the lines of class soften, if only briefly. Senators might sit here, their fine, togas carefully tucked aside. Conversations drift from Senate decrees to small, everyday scandals. The latrine binds Romans in a strange, shared humanity, an intimacy born of necessity. It's a space where status fades, even for a moment. Let this image linger softly, like a quiet breath. Some latrines, like those in Ostia or Pompeii, were grander, almost ornate. Faded frescoes of gods or nymphs adorned their walls, colors soft by time. Others were plain, their stone unadorned, their purpose clear and They stood near bathhouses, markets, forums, always accessible to the city's people. Picture this balance of function and simplicity, a quiet Roman triumph. The sewers below were a marvel, but they demanded constant care. Workers, often slaves, toiled in dark tunnels, their hands clearing debris to keep the water flowing. Their labor, unseen and uncelebrated, was the backbone of Rome's daily life. The latrine was Rome in miniature, practical, flawed, and deeply human. Pause and feel this quiet connection. Imagine yourself seated, the stone cool beneath you, the world outside fading. Voices hum softly, a gentle undercurrent in the dim light. Laughter breaks through, a spark of life in this shared space. The latrine equalized Romans, if only for these fleeting moments. Let the rhythm of this scene settle around you. The latrine was a place of community, born of necessity and its sounds, water trickling, voices murmuring created a strange, gentle harmony. Romans endured its flaws with patience, a daily ritual of survival. This was their life, uncelebrated but undeniably real. Picture this, quiet, steadfast, and workers in the sewers faced their own unseen struggles. Their hands calloused and steady, cleared blockages in the dark. The city depended on them, yet few knew their names or stories. This was the hidden labor that kept Rome's latrines flowing. Let this thought settle softly now. Some latrines had small gardens nearby, a touch of beauty. Rosemary or mint might grow, their scents briefly masking the air. These details softened the space, a quiet nod to comfort. Romans found balance even here, in necessity. Imagine this faint, fleeting fragrance. As we linger, the trickle of water grows distant, like a memory. The voices soften, fading into the stone walls. The latrine's role was vital, yet humble, a shared space of survival. We now step to Rome's homes, where life continued its rhythm. Let this transition carry you gently, calm, and leave the latrine's quiet hum, and step into Rome's insulae, if you will. These towering apartment blocks rise over the streets, brick and timber patched together. Imagine standing at one's base, the air smoky, damped with the memory of rain. The building sways slightly, a fragile home for dozens. Picture this world, alive with the quiet pulse of lives interwoven. Climb the narrow staircase, each step creaking beneath your sandals. The street's noise fades, the air growing still and warm. Lower floors house shopkeepers with larger rooms, but the upper floors are for the poorest. A small door opens to a tiny, cramped space. Let this image settle softly in your mind. Inside, a straw mattress presses against a rough stone wall. A clay lamp flickers, casting weak shadows that dance faintly. Thin walls carry every sound: snores, laughter, a muffled argument next door. There's no running water, just a clay pot for waste, tucked away. Pause and feel this close, vibrant life surrounding you. The insulae were fragile, always at risk of fire or collapse. A spark from a brazier could destroy everything in moments. Heavy rains weakened foundations, threatening sudden ruin. Yet, life persisted here, day after patient day. Picture a weaver's loom thumping at night, its rhythm steady, almost hypnotic. A mother sang softly to her child, her voice barely rising above the hum. The walls carried these sounds, blending lives into a shared existence. These were homes of quiet endurance, where small moments shone. The city's heart beat in these cramped spaces. Let that rhythm linger over you now. Water was vital, a daily task that shaped their lives. Picture yourself at a public fountain, a clay bucket heavy in your hands. The stone basin ripples gently, water flowing from a pipe carved with the benefactor's name. The line moves slowly, neighbors chatting in low tones. Imagine the cool splash, a fleeting relief. The weight at the fountain is patient, filled with gentle talk. Children dart around, splashing in puddles, their laughter bright and carefree. Carrying the bucket back, the stairs creak under your weight. This water, used sparingly, sustains life in the instant. Let the weight of this task settle softly. Bread was Rome's lifeline, distributed through the Annona system. Join a morning line at a bakery, the air thick with yeast and sweat. The crowd murmurs, sharing stories, complaints, or quiet hopes. The loaf is coarse, gritty with chaff, but warm and filling. Feel its weight in your hands, a small promise. The bakery line is slow, a ritual of patient survival. Someone mentions the emperor, his generosity praised or quietly cursed. The bread's weight is a victory, another day secured. This was Rome's rhythm, steady and unhurried, day after day. Pause and let this image linger gently. Markets complemented the Annona, their stalls brimming with olives and cheese. Vendors called out, their voices a gentle, hypnotic hum in the air. The scent of herbs and roasted meat hinted at abundance, even for the poor. For many, this was hope, a place of connection. Picture the quiet bustle, alive yet calm. Life in the insulae was a shared, enduring struggle, woven tightly. Families lived close, their sounds blending into a constant hum. Water and bread defined their days, simple yet relentless necessities. This was Rome's heart, far from the marble of palaces. Let these details wrap around you like a blanket. The city's pulse beat in these daily tasks, steady and quiet. Hooves clattered on stone, tunics rustled in the morning breeze. The Tiber flowed, its waters a soothing, constant presence. This was the Rome of the ordinary, uncelebrated but real. Imagine standing in its rhythm now. Markets were more than trade. They were the city's lifeblood. Neighbors shared new Senate decrees, tales of distant wars, small victories. The scent of bread was a promise, a comfort in hardship. This was where hope lived, quietly enduring. Picture yourself among them, listening to the hum. Insulae housed dozens, their lives a shared, intricate tapestry. A craftsman worked by lamplight, his tools clinking softly in the dark. A family shared a meal, their voices low, warm, familiar. The city's noise faded, but never fully vanished. Let this world settle over you, warm and close. The streets carried Rome's heartbeat, a steady, gentle rhythm. A cart rattled over stone, its wheels groaning softly. A child's laughter echoed, bright and fleeting, through the alleys. This was the Rome of small, enduring moments. Let these sounds drift through you now. As we linger, hear the distant clatter of the city's streets. The rhythm of daily life carries on, quiet and steadfast. These tasks water bread-bound Romans together in their survival. We now turn to a man who sought to change their lives. Rest in this gentle, unhurried transition. We step into the life of Gaius Gracchus, a Roman whose dreams stirred the city. Imagine yourself in Rome, 133 BCE, the air warm with summer's end. The forum hums softly, its stones worn by countless feet. Let this moment settle, calm and quiet. The Tiber flows nearby, its waters catching the evening light. Voices murmur in the street's merchants. Senators, the scent of bread lingers, mixed with dust and incense. Gaius, a young man, walks these paths, his steps steady. Pause and picture this. Rome, alive, yet restless. Rome is a republic, but cracks run deep in its heart. Wealth pours in from conquests, yet many struggle. Farmers lose land to vast estates owned by the elite. The poor crowd the insulae, their lives hard and lean. In this moment, Gaius's story begins to unfold. Gaius Gracchus was born into the Sempronia gens, a noble family. His father, Tiberius Sempronius Gracchus, was a consul, respected but distant. His mother, Cornelia, was a figure of wisdom, her voice guiding her sons. The family's villa stood on the Palatine, overlooking the city. Imagine its quiet halls, lit by flickering lamps. Cornelia raised Gaius and his brother, Tiberius, with care. She taught them rhetoric, history, the weight of Rome's ideals. The brothers grew in a world of privilege, yet saw the city's pain. Farmers, displaced by war, begged in the streets. Let this image linger. A city divided. Tiberius, the elder brother, stepped into politics first. As tribune in 133 BCE, he proposed land reforms to aid the poor. His laws aimed to break up vast estates, giving land to veterans. The Senate bristled, their power threatened. Picture Tiberius in the forum, his voice steady but urgent. The Senate's opposition grew fierce. Rooted in tradition, Tiberius's reforms sparked unrest, then violence. A mob, stirred by nobles, attacked him on the Capitoline Hill. He fell, his dreams shattered, leaving Rome in shock. Pause and feel the weight of this loss, heavy and still. Gaius was young, perhaps 20, when Tiberius died. The family mourned in their villa, the air thick with grief. Cornelia urged Gaius to honor his brother's cause, but not yet. He was still a student, learning the city's laws and ways. Imagine him reading scrolls by lamplight, his mind restless. Rome's streets buzzed with whispers of Tiberius's fate. The poor hoped for change. The rich feared it. Gaius walked among them, his tunic plain, his name a quiet burden. The forum's stones seemed heavier now, stained by conflict. Let this scene drift through you, a city on edge. Gaius served in the legions, as young nobles did. He marched through dusty provinces, his sandals worn, his thoughts far away. In Numidia, he saw soldiers' farmers' sons struggling to survive. Their stories echoed his brother's cause, land for the landless. Picture him under the stars, reflecting quietly. The military life was harsh, the sun relentless. Camps smelled of leather, sweat, and smoky fires. Gaius shared rations, his hands calloused from work. He saw Rome's strength in these men, yet also its flaws. Let this moment settle, a young man shaped by duty. Back in Rome, the Senate tightened its hold. The elite hoarded land, their villas sprawling across hills. The poor, crowded and insulate, lived on grain handouts. Gaius returned, his eyes sharp, his heart stirred by injustice. Imagine him standing by the Tiber, watching the city breathe. Cornelia's voice remained, urging patience and purpose. She was Rome's ideal, a mother of the Gracchi revered. Gaius's home, though grand, felt small under her gaze. Scrolls of law and rhetoric lay open, tools for a future. Pause and picture this quiet, guiding presence. The forum was a stage, its speakers vying for power. Gaius watched, learning their cadence, their words. He saw the tribunes, men of the people, yet often swayed by gold, the poor's hope fading, their voices drowned by wealth. Let this image linger, a city of uneven scales. Gaius's youth was deliberate, a time to grow strong. He spoke in small gatherings, his voice clear but soft. Friends admired him, foes noted his name with unease. The Senate loomed, a fortress of tradition, wary of another. Imagine this quiet, a storm gathering slowly. The insulae from our earlier tales shaped this Rome. Families lived close, their struggles fueling Gaius's resolve. The markets buzzed, but many left empty. The poor's patience was Rome's strength, fraying thin. Picture Gaius among them, listening, learning their needs. As we linger in this Rome, hear the city's murmur. The Tiber flows, carts creak, voices blend in the dusk. Gaius, a young man, carries his brother's dream, not yet ready. This is the Rome of quiet beginnings, of hope. We move to his tribunate, where dreams take root. Drift back to Rome, where Gaius Gracchus' story continues. It's 123 BCE, the city restless under a warm sun. Imagine yourself in the forum, where crowds gather, their murmurs soft. Gaius, now a tribune, stands tall, his voice clear. Let this moment settle, calm and gentle. The Tiber glitters nearby, its waters steady and slow. The air carries dust, incense, and the faint scent of bread. Insulae loom over the streets, their tenants watching, hopeful. Gaius speaks of change, his words a quiet promise. Pause, and let this scene wrap around you. As Tribune Gaius holds power for the people, his brother's death lingers, a shadow over his heart. He aims to heal Rome's wounds, to balance its scales. The poor, crowded in Insulae, need land, food, justice. Picture Gaius, driven by their silent struggles. His first reform revives Tiberius's land laws. Vast estates, owned by the elite, choke small farmers. Gaius proposes breaking them up, giving plots to the landless. Veterans weary from wars might farm again. Imagine the fields, green and waiting, far from Rome's dust. The Senate, guardians of wealth, stir with unease. Their villas sprawl, built on land taken from the poor. said. Whispers fill their halls, plans forming in the shadows. Let this tension linger, quiet but heavy. Gaius speaks in the forum, his voice steady, measured. Crowds gather, their sandals shuffling on stone. He paints a Rome where all share its bounty. The poor cheer, their hope a fragile flame. Picture their faces, worn but bright with possibility. He proposes grain subsidies, a lifeline for the city's poor. Bread, coarse and gritty, is their daily sustenance. Gaius wants it cheaper, sold at fixed prices. The Annona system, strained, bends under his vision. Imagine the bakery lines, shorter, less desperate. The markets, from our earlier tales, feel this change. Stalls brim, but prices pinch the poor. Gaius's plan promises relief, bread within reach. Vendors murmur, some wary, others hopeful. Let this rhythm settle, a city shifting slowly. Gaius's reforms extend beyond land and grain. He seeks to curb corruption, to strengthen the people's voice. He proposes laws to limit the Senate's grip on courts. The equities a rising class, gain power, balancing nobles. Picture this delicate dance of power. The Senate's anger grows, a quiet storm brewing. They see Gaius as a threat, another Gracchi defying order. Their togas rustle in private meetings, words sharp. They plot to block his laws, to dim his flame. Pause and feel this tension, steady and low. Gaius walks the streets, his tunic plain, his eyes sharp. The poor greet him, their voices soft with gratitude. In the insule his name is whispered, a spark of hope. Yet danger follows, unseen but close. Imagine him, resolute amidst the city's hum. The forum is his stage, its stones warm underfoot. He speaks of justice, of Rome's forgotten. His words flow like the Tiber, steady, unyielding. Crowds grow, their murmurs a chorus of need. Let this image linger, a man and his city entwined. Grain silos rise under Gaius's plans, storing Rome's bounty. The poor, once hungry, see bread within reach. Bakeries hum, their ovens glowing in the dawn. The Annona strengthens, a quiet victory for the people. Picture the warm loaves, heavy in tired hands. The Senate counters, their influence vast. They sway other tribunes, using vetoes to stall Gaius. The elite hoard land, their estates untouched. Whispers of unrest grow in the forum's shadows. Pause, and let this struggle settle, a city divided. Gaius's reforms touch the courts. A bold move. He shifts power to the equitus away from senators. Corruption, once rampant, faces new scrutiny. The people cheer, but the elite seethe. Imagine this shift, a balance tilting ever so slightly. The insulae buzz with talk of Gaius's deeds. Tenants share stories, their voices low in cramped rooms. Bread is cheaper, hope closer, yet fear lingers. The Senate's shadow looms, cold and unyielding. Let this moment drift through you, soft and heavy. Gaius stands firm, his resolve unshaken. He speaks of Rome's heart, its people, its promise. The forum fills, the air thick with dust and hope. His reforms take root, but the ground is unsteady. Picture him, a lone figure against the city's weight. As we linger, hear the forum's murmur, soft and restless. The Tiber flows, carts creak, voices rise and fall. Gaius's reforms spark hope, but also fear. This is the Rome of change, fragile and fraught. We move to his final days, where dreams meet their end. Drift back to Rome, where Gaius Gracchus' story nears its end. It's 121 BCE, the city tense under a fading sun. Imagine the forum, its stones warm, crowds gathering. Gaius still tribune, faces mounting foes, his voice steady. Let this moment settle, calm and quiet. The Tiber flows nearby, its waters slow and silver. The air is thick with dust, incense, and murmured fears. Insulae loom, their tenants watching, anxious. Gaius's reforms have stirred Rome, but danger closes in. Pause, and let the scene wrap around you. Gaius's second term as tribune is fraught with strife. His land and grain laws have taken root, but the Senate fights back. They sway the people with promises, turning hope to doubt. The poor, once loyal, waver in the forum's heat. Picture this shift, subtle but heavy. A rival tribune, Livius Drusus, resists to challenge Gaius. He offers grander promises, backed by Senate gold. The crowds listen. Gaius's voice, once a beacon, struggles to be heard. Let this tension linger, a city pulling apart. Gaius proposes new colonies, land for the poor overseas. Carthage, once Rome's foe, is to be rebuilt. The Senate twists this, calling it ambition, not aid. Whispers spread, poisoning the air with doubt. Imagine Gaius resolute, facing a turning tide. The forum becomes a battleground of words, not swords. Gaius speaks of justice, of Rome's forgotten poor. His supporters, fewer now, stand firm in the dust. The Senate's allies jeer, their voices sharp, relentless. Pause and feel this clash, quiet but fierce. Violence brews, though Gaius seeks peace. A Senate ally falls in a scuffle, blood staining the stone. The Senate seizes this, declaring Gaius a threat. They issue a decree, rare and dire, against him. Picture the forum, its air heavy with fear. Gaius flees to the Aventine Hill, a last stand. His followers, loyal but few, gather in the dusk. The Insulae watch, their windows dim, their people silent. The Senate's forces approach, their sandals steady. Let this moment settle, a city holding its breath. The Aventine slopes are quiet, the air warm and still. Gaius speaks to his men, his voice low, urging calm. They hold makeshift weapons, their faces worn but determined. The Senate's men advance, their intent cold and clear. Imagine this scene, tense yet strangely calm. Violence erupts, swift and final, on the hill. Gaius's men fall, their cries lost in the dusk. He flees to a grove, sacred to the gods, seeking refuge. His loyal slave stands by, their bond unbroken. Pause and let this tragedy linger, heavy and still. Gaius's end comes quietly, by his own choice or another's hand. The grove is silent, its leaves rustling softly. His body is carried away, the Tiber receiving him later. Rome mourns and whispers, the poor grieving in their Picture this loss, a flame extinguished. The Senate declares victory, their power restored. Gaius's reforms falter, some undone, others fading. The elite reclaim their estates, their villas sprawling anew. The poor return to their lines, their hope dimmed. Let this aftermath settle, a city changed yet unchanged. Yet Gaius's legacy lingers, like a shadow on stone. His laws, though weakened, plant seeds of change. Future leaders echo his call for justice, for balance. The forum's stones hold his words, faint but enduring. Imagine this legacy, quiet but unshaken. The Insulae, from our earlier tales, feel his absence. Tenants speak of him, their voices low in cramped rooms. Bread lines grow longer, hope harder to hold. Yet his name lives, a whisper of what might have been. Let this memory drift through you. The markets hum, but the air is heavier now. Vendors call out, their voices less bright. The poor barter, their coins few, their faces worn. Gaius's dream of fairness fades, but not fully. Picture the city, carrying on, wounded but alive. Cornelia, Gaius's mother, mourns in her villa. She is Rome's ideal, the mother of the Gracchi, now childless. Her wisdom, once a guide, turns to quiet grief. The Palatine is still, its lamps dim. Pause and feel this loss, personal yet vast. The Tiber flows on, its waters unchanged by Rome's strife. Carts creak, hooves clatter, life continues. The forum's stones, worn by time, hold Gaius's echo. His story is Rome's story of hope and struggle. Let this rhythm settle, soft and steady. As we linger, hear the city's murmur in the dusk. The insulae stand, their tenants enduring, as always. Gaius's life, brief but bright, leaves a mark. We now turn to the Mithraic Mysteries, a hidden faith. Rest in this gentle transition, calm and unhurried. We step into the shadows of the Mithraic Mysteries, a secret woven into Rome's fabric. Imagine yourself in a quiet Roman camp, 100 CE. The air cool as dusk settles. The scent of leather, smoky fires, and damp earth fills your lungs. Let this moment settle, calm and soothing, as we begin. The Tiber flows far off, its murmur a soft, distant thread. Soldiers gather, their sandals brushing the ground, voices low with anticipation. This cult, whispered about in corners, draws them from provinces Dacia, Britain, Syria. Its roots lie in Persia, an ancient land of sun and mystery. Pause and picture this distant origin, a spark carried west. Mithras, the cult's god, emerges from Zoroastrian Thales. He was a god of light, battling the darkness with a spear. Roman soldiers, marching through conquered lands, adopted his worship, blending it with their own. The cult spread slowly, like a quiet river, along dusty roads and campfires. Imagine caravans creaking under the weight of this faith, moving steadily. The Roman Empire, vast and restless, shaped its journey. Legions carried Mithras across frontiers, their boots leaving tracks. Mithria, hidden temples, rose in caves or basements, away from the city's gaze. These sanctuaries were small, lit by flickering oil lamps, their secrecy a shield. Let this hidden growth linger, a mystery unfolding. Rome's streets, from our earlier Thales buzz with daily life. Insulae tower, markets hum with vendors' calls. Yet, beneath this surface, Mithras's followers gather in silence. Soldiers, weary from war's toll, sought solace in this faith. Picture them, their tunics worn, faces etched with duty, stepping into shadow. The cult was exclusive, open only to men, mostly soldiers. No women joined, no slaves, just the initiated few. This secrecy fueled its allure, a bond of trust among warriors. Temples were cramped, their walls damp, carved with stars or bowls. Pause, and let this hidden world wrap around you, warm and still. Mithras's myth, as Romans retold it, was simple yet deep. He slays a bull. Caves echoed with this tale, reliefs showing the struggle blood. A dog, a snake. The act promised life, strength for the faithful in dark times. Imagine the dim light, the bull's image glowing softly on stone. The empire's frontiers were harsh, nights cold and long. Soldiers found comfort in these rituals, a shared refuge. Camps smelled of earth, sweat, and burning wood. A soldier's world. Mithraic groups formed, tight-knit their loyalty, a shield against chaos. Let this camaraderie settle, a quiet strength in the night. The cult's spread was deliberate, moving with legions, not priests. It reached Rome, Ostia, the Rhine's banks. Each myth temples held altars, reliefs, a sense of the sacred yet hidden. A soldier might light a lamp, his hand steady, his heart bound. Picture this ritual, a flame in the dark. Rome's elite, like the Senate, turned blind eyes to this faith. Their temples stood grand open to all, unlike Mithraia's secrecy. The poor and insulate knew little, their lives tied to bread and water. Mithras was for those with swords, a warrior's creed. Pause and feel this divide, subtle yet firm. The air in a Mithraeum was thick, smoky with incense. Walls were cold, damp, etched with celestial maps. Soldiers sat on benches, sharing bread, wine, quiet words. This was their sanctuary, a world apart from Rome's noise. Imagine the stillness, the flicker of light on ancient stone. Gaius Gracchus's legacy, from our last tale, faded into memory. His call for justice lingered in the poor's hearts, a lost hope. The Mithraic Mysteries offered order, a different solace. Soldiers found purpose, a hierarchy of ranks, in this cult. Let this contrast drift through you, a shift in Rome's soul. The cult's secrecy was its strength, its silent power. No texts survive, just art and faint whispers of rite. Initiates swore oaths, their lips sealed, their trust absolute. This silence drew more, a lure of the unknown, deep and enduring. Picture a soldier, his face solemn, taking his vow in the dark. As we linger, hear the camp's gentle hush, the Tiber's flow, the crackle of fires, blend into a lullaby. Mithras's mystery begins to take shape, quiet and profound. This is a faith born of war, of shadows, growing strong. We move to its rituals, where secrets deepen. We return to Rome's hidden sanctuaries, the Mithraic Mysteries' heart. Imagine a quiet night, 120 seat. In a soldier's camp near the Rhine, the air smells of damp earth, incense, and the faint glow of oil lamps. Let this moment settle, calm and gentle, as we step inside. The Tiber flows far off, its murmur a soft echo in memory. Soldiers gather, their voices hushed, their steps light on stone. The Mithraeum, carved from rock or built below ground, awaits. This sacred space, small and secret, holds their rituals. Pause and let this sacred hush wrap around you. Initiation begins, a rite marking a new journey. Members rise through 7 grades, each a step toward myth. Corax the Raven serves as a messenger, eyes bright. Higher ranks, like Miles the soldier or Lion, carry deeper vows. Picture a man, nervous yet eager, stepping into the dim light. The Mithraeum is narrow, its ceiling low, painted with stars. Benches line the walls, facing a central altar of rough stone. A relief of Mithras slaying the bull dominates, its lines deep and worn. Oil lamps flicker, casting shadows that dance on damp walls. Imagine the warmth, the quiet reverence, filling the air. Rituals center on bread, wine, and solemn oaths. Soldiers share a meal, their hands steady, their hearts linked. This mirrors Mithras's feast with the sun god, a sacred bond. Incense rises, thick and sweet, blending with the stone's coolness. Let this communion settle, a quiet tie among warriors. The grades unfold, each with its own symbol and test. Nymphis, the bride, hints at spiritual union, not earthly ties. Perses, the Persian, recalls the cult's eastern origins, a nod to history. Potter, the father, guides the flock, his voice firm yet kind. Picture a man rising, his face lit by a trembling flame. Initiations were intense, sometimes shadowed with fear. Candidates faced trials, cold water, dark caves, long silences. These tested courage, loyalty to Mithras and each other. The Mithraeum's walls held their echoes, their secrets locked tight. Pause and let this mystery linger, deep and still. The bull slaying scene glows at the right score. Mithras, young and strong, stabs the beast, blood flowing red. A dog laps at it, a snake coils near, a scorpion stings the wound. This act, carved in stone, promised renewal, life from sacrifice. Imagine the relief, its colors fading into the rock's embrace. Soldiers chanted, their voices low, rhythmic, like a drum. The Mithraeum's acoustics carried each word, each breath. Softly, no women heard, no outsiders knew, the silence absolute. This was a man's faith, forged in war's quiet aftermath. Let this chant drift through you, steady and soothing. The altar held offerings, bread, wine, sometimes roasted meat. Flames danced, their light reflecting on wet stone walls. The air grew warm, thick with smoke and devotion, a sacred haze. Soldiers sat close, their shoulders brushing, a brotherhood sealed. Picture this scene, intimate, hidden from the world. The cult's hierarchy was strict, its ranks a ladder to climb. A potter led, his word law within the Mithraeum's walls. Lower grades served, learning rites, proving their worth with each step. This order appealed to soldiers used to command and discipline. Pause and feel the structure, firm yet comforting. Mithraea varied caves in Dacia, basements in Rome's heart. Each had an altar, a bull relief, a starry ceiling overhead. The space was tight, meant for a handful, not throngs. Soldiers felt safe here, a refuge from war's chaos and Rome's noise. Imagine the damp stone, the flicker of light, a haven. Rituals stretched long, the night deepening around them. Chants blended with the drip of water, a natural rhythm. Initiates emerged, changed, their bonds tighter, their faith renewed. The Mithraeum held their secrets, locked in shadow enduring. Let this endurance settle, a quiet strength in the dark. The Tiber's flow, from our earlier tales, linked these hidden spaces. Insulae stood above, their tenants unaware of the rites below. Markets bustled with life, but this faith stayed buried. Soldiers carried it, a private world amidst Rome's clamor. Picture the contrast, a mystery thriving in silence. As we linger, hear the Mithraeum's soft sounds, the flicker of lamps, the murmur of voices blend into peace. Mithras's rituals bind his followers, deep and silent, a warrior's creed. This is a faith of mystery, of war's quiet heart growing strong. We move to its symbols, where meaning unfolds. We drift back to Rome's fading mystery, the Mithraic Mysteries, now waning. It's 300 CE, a cool dawn breaking over the city. Imagine yourself near a Mithraeum, its lamps dim, its silence deep. The air carries damp stone, faint incense, and a hint of dust. Let this moment settle, calm and gentle as we reflect. The Tiber flows nearby, its waters steady, a constant hum. Soldiers once filled these temples, but their footsteps fade. Christianity rises, its churches open and bright, drawing crowds. The Mithraeum's shadows deepen, its secrets quieter with each passing year. Pause, and let this shift wrap around you, soft and slow. Mithras's bull slaying holds layers of meaning. The bull's blood, in myth, births life, plants, animals, even man. A dog laps at it, a snake coils near, a scorpion stings its flank. These creatures, carved in stone, symbolize renewal, struggle, and fate. Picture the relief, its details worn, its story etched deep. The starry ceiling of the Mithraeum shines above. Each star marks a rank ascent toward Mithras' light, a celestial guide. The sun and moon frame the bull scene, balancing day and night. This art spoke to soldiers, linking their earthly fights to the heavens. Imagine the glow, faint but enduring, a map of faith. The cult's grades mirrored this cosmic order. Corax the raven flew as a messenger, eyes sharp. Nymphus, the bride, hinted at spiritual union, not earthly bonds. Perses, the Persian, recalled Eastern roots, a link to the past. Potter, the father, guided with wisdom, his voice a steady anchor. Let these symbols linger, a hierarchy of light. Mithraism thrived among Rome's legions, its order a comfort. Soldiers found purpose, a brotherhood in war's shadow. Yet, it stayed secret, its Mithria hidden from the city's eyes. This exclusivity drew them, but kept it small, a niche faith. Picture a soldier, his face solemn, under a starry vault. Christianity's rise, gentle yet firm, shifted the tide. Churches offered salvation, open to all men, women, slaves alike. Mithria, dark and exclusive, lost their hold on hearts. The poor in Insulae turned to new promises, new hope. Pause and feel this change, slow and inevitable, like a dawn. Temples were left empty, their lamps snuffed out. The Tiber's flow carried no more chants, just silence. Soldiers, once loyal, joined Christian ranks, their swords laid down. Mithria crumbled, their stones reused for crosses and altars. Imagine the quiet, the echo of a lost faith fading. The bull slaying's promise dimmed as Christianity spread. Its renewal theme echoed in new beliefs, but differently. Yet, some symbols lingered light against dark, rebirth from struggle. These traces influenced later fates, a subtle gift. Let this transition settle, quiet and deep, a legacy in shadow. Gaius Gracchus's dream, from our last tale, also waned. The poor's hope shifted to Christian charity, not land reforms. Mithraism, like his cause, fell to Rome's evolving faith. The Insulae buzzed with new prayers, replacing old rites. Picture this shift, a city turning softly toward light. The markets, once vibrant, felt this change too. Vendors sold bread, but Christian alms grew stronger. Mithraic feasts, once hidden, gave way to open mouths. The air smelled of incense, now from new sanctuaries. Pause and let this new rhythm drift through you, warm and steady. Mithraia's art decayed, bulls and stars fading. Vandals scratched crosses over old reliefs, a new mark. The Mithraeum's damp walls held memories, crumbling slowly. Soldiers' voices, once strong, were lost 2 times flow. Imagine the stone, cold and silent, a relic of the past. Yet Mithras' legacy whispers through history. His light versus dark tale shaped later stories, faintly. Caves in Dacia, temples in Rome, left faint traces for scholars. Books ponder, their pages quiet, their theories soft. Let this enduring echo settle, a faint glow in the dark. The Tiber flows on, its waters unchanged by faith's fall. Carts creak, the city hums, life continues its dance. The Mithraeum's shadow fades, but its mystery endures. This is Rome's tale of beliefs rising, falling, blending. Picture the river, carrying all to the sea's embrace. As we linger, hear the city's gentle murmur at dawn. The Insulae stand, their tenants moved by new beliefs. Mithras' mystery ends, but leaves a quiet mark. We now turn to a senator's life of power and ease. Rest in this calm, unhurried transition, soft as a breath. Imagine yourself in Rome, approximately 100 BCE, the dawn soft and pale. The air carries the scent of dew, olive oil, and distant bread ovens. Let this moment settle, calm and gentle, as we begin. The Tiber flows nearby, its waters a quiet shimmer. A senator wakes in his villa on the Palatine Hill, his room cool. Slaves move silently, lighting lamps, preparing his day. The marble floor feels smooth under his feet. Pause and picture this peaceful start. His name is Lucius, a man of wealth and lineage. His family, the Emily, traces back to Rome's founders. The villa's walls hold frescoes, faded reds and blues, of gods and triumphs. He stretches, his toga folded nearby, a symbol of his rank. Imagine the quiet luxury, warm and still. Slaves bring water, warm from the hypocaust, for his wash. The scent of lavender roses, soothing his skin. He shaves with a bronze razor, his reflection dim in a polished plate. This morning ritual is slow, deliberate, a senator's calm. Let this care linger, a gentle rhythm. His wife Julia joins him, her voice soft with greetings. She oversees the household, her hands guiding slaves. Their children sleep, their rooms quiet, filled with toys of wood. The villa hums with life, yet remains orderly, serene. Picture this family, bound by duty and love. Breakfast arrives, bread with honey, figs from the garden. Lucius eats slowly, his thoughts turning to the day. The atrium's fountain trickles, its sound a lullaby. Slaves clear the table, their movements hushed, respectful. Pause and let this meal settle, warm and simple. The insulae from our earlier tales lie below the hill. Their tenants wake, fetching water, waiting for bread. Lucius sees them from his window, a distant world. His wealth contrasts their struggle, a quiet truth of Rome. Imagine the view, the city's pulse below. He dresses. The fabric is heavy, white with a purple stripe, marking his status. The weight feels familiar, a badge of power and expectation. Mirrors reflect his image, stern yet tired. Let this preparation drift through you, steady and slow. Julia hands him a scroll. News from the province. Taxes rise, provinces chafe, the Senate debates. His role looms, a duty to uphold Rome's order. The villa's silence holds his thoughts, heavy yet calm. Picture the scroll, its wax seal breaking under his thumb. The Mithraic Mysteries, from our last tale, fade in memory. Soldiers once sought their rights, but senators like Lucius ignore them. His faith lies in Jupiter, in Rome's traditional gods. Temples stand grand, their altars smoking with offerings. Pause and feel this divide, subtle but firm. Slaves polish his sandals, their hands quick and skilled. The leather shines, ready for the forum's stones. Lucius steps outside, the morning air crisp on his face. The villa's gate creaks, closing behind him, a world left behind. Imagine the transition from home to duty. The streets below bustle, carts rattling, vendors calling. Lucius's litter lifts, carried by slaves, shielding him. The scent of dust and spices fills the air, a city alive. He gazes out, his mind on Senate debates, not the crowd. Let this journey settle, a quiet rise above. Gaius Gracchus's shadow lingers, a memory of reform. His laws once challenged men like Lucius, but failed. The Senate's power remains, a fortress of tradition. Lucius feels its weight, a legacy to protect. Picture this duty, a thread tying past to present. The Palatine's height offers a view, the forum distant. Temples gleam, the Colosseum's shape faint on the horizon. The Tiber winds, a silver thread through Rome's heart. This is his world, privileged yet bound. Pause and let this vista wrap around you, calm and vast. As we linger, hear the villa's fading sounds. The fountains trickle, the slaves' soft steps blend into peace. Lucius's day begins, a senator's life unfolding. This is Rome's quiet power, steady and serene. We move to his duties, where influence grows. Drift with Lucius to the forum, where his day takes shape. It's mid-morning, approximately 100 BCE, the sun warm on Rome's stones. Imagine yourself among the crowd, the air thick with dust and voices. Let this moment settle, calm and gentle, as we follow. The Tiber glimmers below, its flow a steady hum. Lucius steps from his litter, his toga swaying slightly. The forum buzzes, senators in white, citizens in tunics, all moving. His sandals click on marble, a sound of authority. Pause and picture this bustling yet ordered scene. The Senate House looms, its columns tall and stern. Lucius enters, his peers nodding, their faces lined with age. The air smells of incense, wax tablets, and ambition. Seats fill, the room quieting, a ritual of power. Imagine the weight, the expectation, filling the space. Debates begin, voices rising, falling, like waves. Lucius speaks on taxes, his tone measured, his words careful. Provinces send grain, but unrest grows, their pleas ignored. The Senate listens, some nodding, others frowning. Let this discourse linger, a slow dance of influence. A rival, Marcus, challenges Lucius's view. His voice is sharp, accusing waste in the room hums, senators shifting, alliances tested. Lucius counters, citing records, his calm unshaken. Picture this clash, a battle of words, not swords. Slaves move quietly, offering water, scrolls to read. The insulates pour from our earlier tales, rely on this grain. Lucius knows their hunger, but duty binds him to the elite. His vote sways, a balance of power and pity. Pause and feel this tension. Subtle yet real. Lunch breaks the session, a simple meal of bread and cheese. Lucius eats with allies, their talk turning to clients. Gifts of wine, favors owed, weave their web. The forum's noise filters in, a distant hum. Imagine the table, the clink of cups, a moment's rest. Afternoon brings clients, seeking his aid. A merchant needs a tax break, a soldier a land grant. Lucius listens, his stylus scratching notes on wax. His influence grows, a currency of Rome's hierarchy. Let this exchange settle, a quiet flow of power. The Mithraic Mysteries, from our last tale, hold no sway here. Senators like Lucius favor public gods, Jupiter's temple, yet some whisper of soldiers' rights, a different faith. He dismisses it, his world tied to tradition. Picture the temple, its smoke rising, steady and familiar. A vote nears on a new road in Gaul. Lucius argues for it, citing trade, Roman might. Opponents claim cost, their voices loud, insistent. The room debates, the air thick with strategy. Pause and let this deliberation drift, a slow tide of decision. Slaves adjust his toga, worn from the day's heat. The forum's crowd watches, their murmurs a constant hum. Lucius feels their eyes, a weight of expectation. His status demands perfection, a public mask. Imagine his stride, confident yet weary, across the stones. Evening nears, the sun dipping, casting long shadows. Lucius meets a patron, a richer senator, for favors. The talk is coded, promises veiled, alliances forged. The air cools, carrying the scent of the Tiber. Let this negotiation settle, a quiet dance of power. Gaius Gracchus's reforms, from our past tale, echo faintly. His push for the poor once shook the Senate. Lucius recalls the unrest, the blood on the event. Stability now reigns, his duty to preserve it. Picture this memory, a shadow on his thoughts. The day winds down, the Senate adjourning with a hum. Lucius steps into his litter, the crowd parting. The city's pulse beats guards, voices, the rivers flow. His mind turns homeward, to Julia, to rest. Pause, and let this transition wrap around you, calm and soft. As we linger, hear the forum's fading sounds. The click of sandals, the murmur of debate, blend into peace. Lucius's day unfolds, a senator's burden and pride. This is Rome's quiet strength, steady and enduring. We move to his evening, where reflections deepen. Drift with Lucius to his villa, where evening falls gently. It's dusk, approximately 100 BC. The sky a soft purple over Rome. Imagine yourself in the atrium, the air cool with a hint of jasmine. Let this moment settle, calm and soothing, as we unwind. The Tiber's flow is a distant hum, its waters dark now. Lucius steps inside, his toga loosened by slaves. The villa glows with lamps, their light dancing on. Julia greets him, her voice warm, her hands gentle. Pause, and picture this homecoming, a quiet haven. Slaves bring wine, its aroma rich and earthy. Lucius sips slowly, his day's tension easing. The atrium's fountain trickles, a sound to lull the mind. Children play nearby, their laughter soft, fading into sleep. Imagine the peace, the flicker of light on marble. Dinner arrives, a spread of fish, olives, and bread. Lucius eats with Julia, their talk of the day's events. Slaves move silently, clearing plates, their presence unobtrusive. The room feels warm, the scent of food lingering. Let this meal settle, a gentle close to his hour. He reflects on the Senate, its debates, its power. The province's unrest weighs on him, a quiet burden. Gaius Gracchus's shadow, from our past tale, flickers in memory. His reforms failed, but stirred a need for balance. Picture this thought, a senator's quiet struggle. The Mithraic Mysteries, from our last tale, hold no place here. Lucius honors Jupiter, his prayers simple, traditional. The temple's smoke rises, a public act of faith. Yet, he wonders about soldiers' rights, a curiosity on. Pause, and let this contrast drift, subtle and still. Slaves prepare a bath, the water warm and fragrant. Lucius soaks, his muscles relaxing, his mind drifting. The room is dim, the sound of water a soft rhythm. This luxury marks his rank, a reward for duty. Imagine the steam, the quiet splash, enveloping him. Julia reads aloud, a scroll of Virgil's verses. The words flow, tales of heroes, lands far off. Lucius listens, his eyes closing, the day fading. The villa's silence grows, a cocoon of peace. Let this story settle, a gentle lullaby for sleep. He thinks of legacy, his name carved in stone. The Emily line must endure, through sons, through deeds. The Senate's power, his role in it, shapes his future. The insulates poor, from our earlier tales, rely on his votes. Picture this duty, a thread to the next generation. The night deepens, the villa's lamps dimming. Slaves bank the fires, their steps fading away. Lucius retires, his bed soft with wool and feathers. The Tiber's hum carries through the window, a constant friend. Pause, and let this rest wrap around you, warm and still. His dreams hold Rome's grandeur, its temples, its forum. Yet he sees the poor, their faces worn, their hope thin. Gaius's vision, though lost, lingers in his thoughts. This balance, power and pity, defines his life. Imagine this dream, a senator's quiet burden. The villa's silence is complete, the night holding sway. The children sleep. Julia rests. The household still. Lucius's breath slows, his days weightlifting. This is his world, privileged yet tied to Rome's soul. Let this peace settle, deep and enduring. Morning will bring new duties, new debates. The Senate will call, the provinces will wait. Yet, tonight, he rests. A senator's life paused, the Tiber flows on, a witness to all. Picture the river, its waters carrying his story. As we linger, hear the villa's gentle sounds. The fountains trickle, the soft breath of sleep blend into calm. Lucius's life unfolds, a blend of power and peace. This is Rome's quiet heart, steady and vast. Our journey nears its end, a final reflection awaits. Imagine yourself in Rome, the night deep and still, the year fading into history. The air carries the scent of the Tiber, damp earth, and a whisper of olive oil. Let this moment settle, calm and gentle, as our journey nears its end. The Tiber flows softly, its waters a silver thread through the city. Insulae rise in the distance, their windows dim, their tenants asleep. The hum of carts and voices has faded, leaving only quiet. This Rome, from our first tales, lives in memory now. Pause and picture this stillness, a city at rest. We began with daily life, the heartbeat of the ordinary. The latrines flowed with water, the markets brimmed with bread. Families in insulae shared walls, their lives a quiet weave. The air was smoky, the streets alive with sandals, shuffle. Let these moments linger, a foundation of Rome's soul. Gaius Gracchus walked these streets, his voice a call for change. His reforms stirred the forum, offering land to the poor. The Senate resisted, their power a fortress, his blood a price. His legacy fades, yet echoes in the insulae's hope. Imagine his figure, resolute, a shadow on the stones. The Mithraic Mysteries hid beneath a soldier's faith. Mithraea glowed with lamps, their walls carved with bulls and stars. Rituals bound men, their chants a rhythm in the dark. The cult waned as Christianity rose, its silence broken. Pause and let this mystery drift, a quiet thread unwound. Lucius, our senator, lived above this all. His villa on the Palatine held luxury, frescoes, and peace. The Senate shaped his days, debates filling the air with dust. His toga marked power, his heart held duty, a balance of worlds. Picture his stride, steady, across the forum's stones. The insulae, from our first steps, stand as Rome's heart. Their tenants fetched water, waited for bread, endured in shadow. Lucius's votes touched their lives, a distant hand of fate. Gaius fought for them, his dream a flicker in their nights. Let this connection settle, a web of lives. The Tiber witnessed it all, its flow unchanging. It carried waste from latrines, grain from provinces, secrets of cults. Soldiers marched beside it, senators sailed its banks. The river holds Rome's story, a gentle current of time. Imagine its surface, reflecting stars, a mirror of the past. Mithras' bull slaying, once vibrant, fades into art. The starry ceilings dim, their ranks forgotten. Christianity's light grows, its churches open, its hope shared. The Mithraeum's silence deepens, a relic of warriors' faith. Pause and feel this shift, soft as a breath on water. Lucius's evenings brought reflection, wine, and rest. His villa's fountain trickled, a lullaby for sleep. He thought of legacy, his name carved in stone, his family's future. The poor below, an insulae, shaped his duty, a quiet bond. Picture the lamplight, warm, fading into dreams. Gaius's struggle, though lost, left a mark on Rome. The Senate's power held, but the poor's voice grew stronger. His blood on the Aventine stirred whispers, a call for justice. Lucius felt this echo, a senator's burden, a city's soul. Let this legacy drift, a thread through time. The markets, once our guide, quiet with night. Vendors' calls fade, their stalls empty, their scents gone. The Annona fed the poor, a senator's vote in play. Gaius's grain laws, though weakened, eased their hunger. Imagine the silence, the bread's warmth a memory now. The forum stands empty, its stones cool under stars. Senators' voices, once loud, are stilled by dusk. Lucius's debates, his alliances, fade into history. The city sleeps, its pulse slow, its story told. Pause, and let this peace wrap around you, deep and still. The Tiber flows on, a witness to all we've seen. Insula Gaius, Mithras, Lucis all, touched its banks. The river carries their echoes, their struggles, their dreams. Its waters blend into the sea, a journey's end. Picture the current, gentle, carrying you onward. Night deepens, the villa's lamps flicker low. Lucius sleeps, Julia beside him, the children still. The insulae rest, their tenants dreaming of dawn. Rome holds its breath, a city of memory, of peace. Let this quiet settle, a blanket over the mind. We've walked through Rome's heart, its shadows, its light. The latrines trickle, the Mithraics chant, the Senate's hum. Gaius's hope, Lucius's duty, the poor's endurance all weave together. This is a tale of a city, now a lullaby. Imagine the stars above, guiding you to sleep. The Tiber's flow softens, a final whisper. The Insiate fade, the forum dims, the villa grows still. Our journey ends, but Rome lives in your dreams. Rest now, let sleep take you, gentle as the night. Pause and drift away, calm and unhurried, into peace.